controlling. Uh, it's on the countdown. It's got a countdown clock for me, but I'm finna go and get started. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Wait a minute. See if you can hear it online. Don't put it on YouTube. I mean, don't put it on Facebook. Just YouTube. No Facebook. Yep. He finna get his. Okay. You gonna see if you can hear me? Okay. See, see if you can hear my voice. Okay. Well, good evening, everyone. So many people in the building. Wow, this must be really interested in this trip. I know because it will be an amazing trip. Okay, so we're just going to follow the slides. My name is Stacy Carmichael, and our church has a cruise that we put together for October of 2024. What sparked our interest was the reason we put it together on a cruise instead of a land tour was that we've went twice to the Holy Land, and it was a lot of walking involved, and we didn't want to put that strain on the members, but then also we wanted to experience other cities. And with the cruise, the benefit is we can go to all of these different places and yet only have to unpack one time. And so that's what we're going to be doing. So this is a Mediterranean cruise, and I say biblical emphasis because most of these places you would have heard of in the Bible. So not only do we get to try to experience Israel, but we get to experience a few other countries also. Okay, so just follow me on the slides. So the dates are October the 17th through the 28th. I might have put that in wrong somewhere else, but it's October the 17th through the 28th, and it's with Norwegian Cruise Lines, and it's their cruise ship Norwegian Epic. I've just went on a cruise with Norwegian Epic, and it's a nice ship. So let's look at this next slide. It's just telling you the different places that we're going to be going. So this is the itinerary, very, very good, intense itinerary. It's several places. And so you see we're going to be hitting all the way from Rome, going all the way till we end, culminates in Tel Aviv, which is Haifa, Israel, and that's where we will get off. So we will fly to Rome. Most of us will fly a day before, and I'll talk about that. When you're flying internationally, you want to try to get there a day before because you never know what might happen with the airlines. And I personally just experienced that when we went with a group over to Israel. Not Israel, on this international cruise. And so so when it says embarkation, it just means the ship will be leaving at 5, but usually we try to get there around 10, 11, and we will schedule times when it's time for the check-in on what time we need to be there. The good thing about being at a hotel the day before, you don't have to worry about trying to push it to make it to the ship on time. So we got Italy, we got Livorno. Livorno is the port, but it's close to Florence and Pisa, so you can see the Leaning Tower of Pisa. But then also in Florence, you got the Statue of David and places like that. And the times, we like the times. So we see there are lengthy times. A traditional cruise, you're only there for a short while, but you see here, you're here for 12 hours. And then we only have one day where we're at sea, which that's a plus. And the good thing about that is during that day, we'll have our very own Dr. Brian. He will, from 1 to 3, be talking to us about the different places that we're going to and tell us how it coincides with the Bible. So you might see a place and say, well, where was that in the Bible? He can tell you tell you that. And that's, of course, is going to be optional to do that. So I'm going to go back through the itinerary, but I'm going to talk a little bit more about prices because I know that's a big concern for all of us. Okay? So on this particular cruise, I only chose balcony suites. I did not choose any ocean view, nor did I choose any interior staterooms. I believe that we were going to a place this fantastic. You want to be able to open your open the door, open up the little sliding doors and see how beautiful it is. And so these are the different rooms. A balcony suite, which is around $2,553 per person. That includes taxes, and this is all cruise, just the cruise itself. And the second thing is the club balcony suite. They're about the same, maybe just a few feet more. The difference that we saw is that on the balcony suite, it actually has a tub, or a really nice sized tub to sit in, where in the balcony suite, it's a shower, but they're both nice rooms, lots of storage and all of that. Now, so that's that cost. And when you're looking at the staterooms, it's based on 2 people being in the stateroom. So it's always double occupancy. If you want to be in the room by yourself, it's almost double that. So it's to your advantage to do 2 people in a room. You can do 3, you can do 4 sometimes, but then some of the other add-ons, it will affect that. So let's go to the next slide. So airfare, the great thing, and the reason I choose Norwegian is because they always are running this BOGO, this buy one, get one. So the airfare as of in September of 2022, because that's when I first put this trip together, was around $12.91 per person round trip. Well, with Norwegian, the airfare, you can buy one, get one free. The thing about this is that Norwegian is contracted with these other airlines, so you don't know which airline you're going to be on. You can't say, well, I want to be here, I want to be there. You're taking advantage of this promotional, so it's going to be economy seats. But what we found out when we went is that when the opportunity opens on, it's about 45 days before it's time to fly out, that they will send you a link with your number, and then you just go on into those airlines and you pick your seat. I actually upgraded every last one of my seats because I did it so quick. So that is available. If there's a group of us, it's not 100% sure that we'll all be on the same flight. This group that just went, we all were not on the same flights. Some of us flew we went from Memphis to, some went from Memphis to Washington, then we went to Spain, and then some went from Memphis to Atlanta, and then me, my husband, and another client of mine, we went from Memphis to New Jersey. And so you just don't know, but none of us were by ourselves, which was good. But again, you cannot beat the airfare. Anybody will tell you that, but there are, you can't control. It's in the hands of Norwegian and their contracted airlines. Some of us was on Delta, some was with United, and that's just that's a chance that you take. But we had a good experience. I had no problems. I will continue to do this buy one, get one airfare. If you have a third person in your room, that it doesn't apply to them. It's only the first 2 guests. Transfers are going to, if you do the airfare, they're going to automatically put those transfers in there. And so this kind of gives you an average cost of what it is with the airfare, the transfers. I'm sorry, I didn't turn the slide. The airfare, the transfers, and the cruise. So it's a pretty decent price. Okay, other costs. So when you go to these different ports, you will have the opportunity to do short excursions, and you try to book them early. This will be a very popular cruise, so you want to book them early. What we did was we waited till we paid off the cruise, which this one will be June 19, 2024, and then afterwards we booked a few. We didn't book one at every port. It can get very expensive, but it's a few that we want to definitely go. One that I'm going to try to get a private tour, which I will get one, and that's going to be when we go to our first stop in Israel. because there are certain things I want us to see when we get there. But other than that, when it comes to those excursions, you don't have to do it when you get to the ship. When we get to the port, you can get off the ship, walk around, catch a private taxi. You can stay on the ship. You do not have to get off, which is the beauty in being on a cruise ship instead of doing a land tour. A land tour, you are forced, you have to walk, and you're walking, and you're walking, and you're walking. So because I did it so early, some shore excursions are open right now, and I did see that, but they are not all, it's not all populated yet. Gratuities. So when I did this and put this together in September, the gratuities were 18 per person per day. Now it's 20 per person per day. And what the gratuities are, it's the wait staff, the people that wait on you. The cruise line, and you will see, they will wait on you. They are going to have your rooms clean. The people who are serving you at these restaurants, they really put a lot of emphasis on really catering to your needs. And so in any cruise line, there are always gratuities. So this one is going to be $20 per person per day. What some people, a few people chose to prepay, but most of the clients that went on this last cruise, they just paid it at the end of the cruise. Okay, and so this next one, we have two different amenities that you can choose from if you choose to go on this cruise. One is the beverage package. So this is for those who like to drink soda, maybe drink, and this includes alcoholic beverages. I don't drink, but for those who do, and dining option, it gives you it's a 3-meal package. So they have specialty restaurants on these, on the cruise ships. There are standard restaurants and there are specialty restaurants. And so a few of the specialty restaurants on this cruise line, there's a steakhouse, they have an Italian restaurant, they have one that's similar to like a Texas de Brazil. So those are 3-meal packages. We did those and those were good, but the complimentary restaurants that are included in the cruise, they were just as nice. And so if I had to do it again, I don't know that I would do a specialty because those other restaurants were extremely nice. The $50 shore excursion credit per cabin. So if you saw a shore excursion, it was 2 people in your room, and it was $100 a piece. That's $200 total. So what Norwegian would do is take off $50, so it'd be $150 for the 2. And you can use that credit as many times as you want to if you're doing the cruises through Norwegian. And also you get 250 minutes with the internet. And you can always upgrade that and pay more on the ship. We didn't really need to do that. If you're doing the premium beverage and dining option, that's another 20% gratuities added onto it, because anytime you get a drink, like even for me, I love those virgin pina coladas. Anytime I get it where I forgot the price, $5 or $6, they still charge a gratuity onto it, like like a bar type thing. So with this one, you don't have to worry about it because they already put it in there for you. The second option, which is the option that we chose when we went on this last cruise, is a 10-photo package. So those photos, the ship will have photographers all throughout the cruise, and sometimes you can even schedule a really nice picture, and there are 8x10s or 6x9, 6x8 or 6x9, but 8x10s, and you can't beat those. The pictures are really expensive, so this is a good option. And then again, the shore excursion credit, the only thing different on this one is that you can get a $100 onboard credit, which that is really good, and you can use it however you want to use it on the ship. You can use it to buy things from the gift shop. You can use it for the special restaurant. You can use that to offset your gratuities, so you could do that. Okay, and then this is just a gift from my agency, Carmichael Travel Consultants. You're going to get an additional, anyone who signs up will get $100 onboard credit in addition to whatever amenity you already pick, and it'll be added to the stateroom. So that's per stateroom, not per person. Now, some other additional costs that you might want. The hotels, you can do a 1-day before or 2-day before. There's a really nice hotel in Rome, and they are really been snatching them up. And like my timing is like perfect, thank you God for that. But I can add the hotel on it. And the good thing about the hotel stay, as I said, is when you get to the airport, you got people waiting for you once you get your luggage, and then you go on, get on this charter bus, And then after your hotel stay, you got them ready for you. After your breakfast, it comes with a breakfast. So if I didn't say that, but then also you get to explore. You can explore Rome a little bit that day before. So that would be nice. And I thought I had the name of the hotel in there, but it's Tulip Pyram, I believe. I will have to check it, but the hotel stay, but that's an additional cost. But you don't have to do that. But I advise anybody going internationally to add a room a day before, 2 days before. One of my clients on this last trip, they actually added 2 days. Everybody else added 1 day, and they absolutely loved it. They got there early enough where they could enjoy the hotel and the surrounding places. Okay, optional costs. You can get travel insurance through Norwegian. We didn't. We actually there are so many private insurance places. Some of your credit cards even offer travel insurance. But if you're spending this amount of money on a trip, you definitely want to insure yourselves because you never know what happens. If you miss a flight, usually your travel insurance will pay for you to even go to say if you miss your flight and you didn't make it to Rome in time for that first day when they leave out, travel insurance will help you because they will pay for you. They will fly you to the next place to make sure you meet the ship. So that's a good thing. So I think and I want to say everyone on our trip, this last trip, they bought it. But again, that's it's optional, but just know that. And anything you pay is going to be refundable up until June the 19th. After that, cancellation charges occur. So that's another reason travel insurance is good. You never know what might happen, and you don't want to waste your money. Okay. Next, so if you want to go, you can just click this form, and I'm going to put it in the box in YouTube. So I'm going to put the presentation in there, and I'm also going to put this link to the form, and you just fill it out for me and give me the information. Usually it's $250 deposit due per person, but Norwegian is having another reduced deposit special, and so the deposits right now are only $125 per person, $250 per stateroom, and again, final payment is due June the 19th. I had one client, they paid as much as they could, and they really wanted to go, and they financed the other part. There is financing, but I try to do my trips in plenty of time where you won't have to. Did this, put it out in September of 2022, so that's about almost a little over 2 years. So, and you still got plenty of time. Okay, so let's go through each one of the places. There are videos on the link that I send you, and you can click it and see. So it's when in Rome, the port is actually in Civitavecchia, and it's about 40 minutes from Rome. So that's where we will embark, and it will be leaving at 5. The next place, again, as I said, is Livorno. And Livorno is just a pretty town. Even if you don't take an excursion to Florence or Pisa, it's a beautiful town. Then we got Naples, and for those women who like to shop and some of that Italian stuff, I mean, we had some people that did a lot of shopping in Italy. They even brought empty suitcases and came back with stuff. And they do use the euro in these countries, so when it comes to, and I'll talk a little bit more about that, but when it comes to like your money and things, I use my major credit card because I knew I wouldn't have any trouble for my big purchases. But you can get your banks maybe 3 days or 4 days before, let your bank know you want to switch out, say how much money for euros, and they will exchange it for you. You will get your better rate going through your bank instead of through these other money exchange places. And then the next stop is, okay, I think it doubled itself for some reason. Okay, it's at sea. So that day 4 at sea, that's when you can explore the ship. You can explore the ship anytime. Like I said, it's a beautiful ship. It's a lot to do. If you weren't doing anything else, that ship has a lot to offer. And then the next 6th day is Santorini, Greece, and this has become a very hot spot lately. It's beautiful. We'll be there from 8 to 9. And then we have Piraeus, Greece. which would be the port we would go to. But then from there we would go to Athens, and this is a place that I'm really looking forward to. This is one of the main reasons I wanted to do this cruise, to see some of the places that Paul went. Then we got Turkey, and this is Ephesus. I didn't put it in the parentheses. So you think about the churches that Paul went to, Ephesus. So Kusadasi, and I'm probably mispronouncing it, this is the port, but from there you will be able to go to Ephesus. The next one is Istanbul, Turkey, which that's another popular spot. In fact, Europe is a very popular destination right now. I guess after COVID, people just realized they wanted to just get out and to experience more. And so Istanbul will be a great one. This is only day 8, so we still got more to go. Then the next one is Patmos, Greece. And I know you all heard of the island of Patmos, you know, who was there, John. Then we have Rhodes, Greece. And then we have, so this is going to be Cyprus, which is going to be beautiful to see. And so day 12, that's the one I want us to try to do an excursion. I'm going to get a private excursion together and get with Norwegian and see if I can put one together. And it would be exclusively for our group, but I really need a count before we start even to get that together. And then we will disembark from Tel Aviv, Haifa. Now, if some people choose to do an excursion on day 12 with Norwegian, they will arrange it so you can go on the excursion and then catch your flight home. But by this time, I'm going to, most of us are going to be ready to go home, and probably will get on our, get on our flights. But if you want to do an excursion on this last day, they will make it available and coordinate that with your air. Okay. So now I'm just going to see if there are any questions. And if you have any questions, I will answer them to all of the people who are in the room right now. If you have any questions, just let me know. Other than that, we will end it. Any questions? The insurance is usually around between $400 and $500 for 2 people. Because Brian and I, we had it, and it was about, I want to say it was about between $400 and $500 for both of us. Yeah, but a lot of people actually waited till after the final payment to start getting the insurance, because your money is refundable up until June the 19th, which is a good thing. Yeah. And yeah, any other questions? So just in case you guys didn't hear that, Haifa is the same thing as Joppa. So it's one of the places, biblical places in the Bible. And if I'm not mistaken, I want to say that was one of the places not only that I believe Jonah went to, as a port city. Also, it's a beautiful place also. Okay?
Did you find things to be expensive when you were out touring, like within the city?
No, there are so many. So it's funny because just like you have little flea market type things right here, you would be amazed. You were like, where do these people come from? There are places and vendors on the street. You can get stuff for $1, $2. I'm serious, some magnets and things like that. But then, like some people were looking for like fine leather and things like that. It was still significantly cheaper than here, but it was nice stuff. We had some women who were high-end shoppers, not myself, but they actually waited to go there and get them their Gucci and Louis Vuitton stuff that's above, that's not my thing, but they really had a good time.
Do you recommend taking any of the European money or just doing straight?
I recommend to take some euros, only because when you get off the ship, if you want to buy those cheap souvenirs or affordable souvenirs, that's what you want to give them, just that euro. You don't want to give them any money, cash money, because they might not be able to give you the change back, and it's like you'll be giving it to them. So for that, like I said, for my big purchases, we just used the card. Most stores you'll see will take a major credit card. And the good thing about a credit card, you know, you can always dispute charges and things like that. So that was good. But yeah, that's a good question. And something also to note is that when you're going to, I'm trying to post this stuff, when you're going to make big purchases, maybe over $150, and you're using that card, make sure you get something called a global entry form, because they're going to tax you on it. They're going to charge you maybe almost a 20% tax, but you get it back once you get ready to get back on the airport. But should you fail to get it, then you're not getting that money back, and nobody wants to be giving their money away.
How long was your flight?
Oh, that's another good question. So our flight was, we went to, like I said, we went to Spain. I guess it's probably about the same distance because the cruises were day by day. But we went from Memphis to Newark, and then that only took maybe a few hours. And then from Newark, we went straight to Barcelona, which was about between 8 and 9 hours, between 7 and 9 hours. It depends on where you're leaving from. Some people left from Atlanta. There's some people that left from Washington. So it was 7 and something, so it was close to 8. But so, and that time goes by fast. In fact, the international flight was like overnight, so it actually worked out really well. And they got all kind of movies for you to watch. You can catch up on all your Bible reading or reading a book if you want to do that.
Did they provide meals on the flight?
They did. They provided meals. I mean, I got so many good questions in the audience. They did. They provided meals. Nothing probably that you want to eat. One of them we got was a cheese sandwich. I was like, what is this? Just straight cheese and some kind of something. But I was hungry. I eat it. But yeah, those type of things. But yeah, they will feed you. In fact, I want to say it was 2 snacks and then probably like a whole meal. On our way back, I know it was a breakfast and it was a lunch. So yeah, they try to feed you. But then even when you're in the airport, you know, you can just buy some food in the airport and eat it on the ship.
So
On the plane, I'm sorry.
with the hotel, getting the hotel the night before, what was the average cost per night?
Okay, average now, it's going to be a little bit more expensive if you went directly to the hotel and bought it. But on this one, it looks like I need to have mine up. I want to say it was about 400 for the whole for the 2 people, not per person. And so it don't put a big dent in your cost. But like I said, it was just comfort knowing that Norwegian just seamlessly put that together. And again, you can get your own hotel. You could do your own air. You could have me do it separately, but I just wanted it to just be one seamless process without having to piece anything together.
And then on your return, we disembark at 6 a.m. We'll go straight to the airport from there.
Mm-hmm.
And come back.
Yeah, you go straight to the airport. Yeah, in fact, that was probably one of the, and my husband would probably attest to that. This was probably was probably the smoothest disembarkations I've ever seen. We were off it, and it was just so smooth how they did it. It was just with ease, and you know, you got on your charter bus, and they took the group to the airport, and we didn't have any problems. We had to go apply to get our money back, turn those forms in, because you don't want to give. I mean, if it was 2%, maybe 20%. If people were spending some big money because they knew they might not go back again, so you want to get your money back.
So on your original cost price, for the club suite, I think it was up to like 28. So the average above that was like it's another 600 on top of that, so about 3,500 total there.
So and don't forget you're talking about the 35. Don't forget the flight. You got the flight in there
Yeah,
also.
so the cost of the room plus the flight is about 35.
Yes, exactly.
And
Yes,
then
yes.
with the other extras like the gratuities and the hotel
And what I can do for you is, and anybody who's maybe listening online, all you need to do is just contact me, and I will figure that out to the, exactly for you what that'll look like, because we can play with the numbers, and you can always add something later. But if you're doing the hotel stay the day before, we probably want to get on that quickly. We can always add it, and then you say maybe 2 months from now, you know what? No, I don't want to do the hotel stay. It's better for me to take it off later than to try to put it in later, because we had some issues with even this past cruise. People were getting those hotel rooms the day before, so we were on this wait list, not really knowing and things. But also about passports. You definitely want to go and apply for passports, because now traveling has gotten so busy. Passport wait times sometimes takes a while. And then if you have a passport and it's going to expire, when you get on the cruise, your passport must still be active, I think maybe 6 months after that date. So if you're pushing, so if the cruise is October of 2024 and you know your passport is going to expire in December of 2024, you won't be able to get on. So you need to go on, make sure you renew your passport maybe mid 2024, so you don't have any problems. Any other questions? Okay, if there are no more questions, again, feel free to contact me. I put the links inside the chat, and have a great night. Thank you.